Hi everyone, I'm back. Today I'm going to be talking about a special topic that I prepared just for Yuna Johnson's group, Inspired Home Deco. Hope I said that right. Hi everyone in Yuna's group. I'm really excited to be chatting to you today, and thank you so much to Yuna for inviting me to talk. And the topic that Yuna thought that might be helpful is the I'm too busy, progress killer, productivity killer, whatever you want to call it. So have you ever caught yourself saying or thinking, I'm too busy? I think we probably all have at some point. So whether you're watching this live or on the replay, say hi or say, yes, that's me. I'm always too busy. Whatever it is for you. Maybe it's just sometimes, maybe it's all the time. And I think in today's society, it's almost become a status symbol, as in the busier we are, the more successful at life we must be. And I think this is an absolute tragedy, and I believe that many people are paying a really high price for the fact that we think it's good to be busy. I can just see Yuna said, yep, that's me. That's really cool. And it is, I think, it's become the cool thing to be, is busy. So today I want to talk about how I'm too busy is really a self-fulfilling prophecy from a brain science perspective. And the result is that it kills your ability to achieve more, as well as killing your ability to truly enjoy life. But more on that in just a moment. But first of all, I'll just introduce myself. So I'm Jen, and I'm a mindset transformation coach, and I'm passionate about using brain science and my psychology degree to help women put themselves first, which is a tough concept for many, in order to be better mothers, sisters, friends, and partners. I'm also the host of the free group Highly Sensitive Extroverts. Now, this might be a new concept for some, so I'll explain what it is. So if you are an HSP, which is a highly sensitive person, and if you're not sure what that is, I suggest Googling it, and you're also an extrovert, chances are you might feel like you don't really fit anywhere, because highly sensitive extroverts, even though from the outside we look like extroverts and everybody thinks, yep, definitely an extrovert, because of the high sensitivity, that actually makes us feel we can relate very much to introverts in terms of we need downtime, we need time alone to recharge our batteries after social engagements. So if you think this might be you, it means you're truly unique to start with, because we make up only about 6% of the population, and we have different struggles and different challenges. And so that's why I created the Highly Sensitive Extroverts group. So if you think it might be you, jump on over to check out the group. I've included the link in the post attached to this video. And I also wanted to draw your attention to a free download that I created. It's called Feel Fantastic in 3 Simple Steps. Now, this is also a guide that will be really helpful to help you overcome your I'm too busy mindset, because it helps you implement small changes in your life in a way that doesn't cause your brain to shut down or use the I'm too busy excuse, basically. So again, the link is in the post for that download as well. So back to the topic. So back to I'm too busy. How many times do you say that to yourself, or do you think I'm too busy each week? If it's hardly ever, then I don't think this video is for you, but I think most of you will probably use it quite a few times, if not all the time. It might be your default. And as I mentioned, it seems to be the new normal, and the busier we are, the more successful at life we are. Now, just a side note on that, I said I would have more on this. Side note, I'm on a mission to change that, the fact that being busy is a status symbol, because I don't believe it's healthy or sustainable, and I believe it leads to people reaching their later years in life and realise they wasted their life because they were racing around and being too busy and not actually enjoying their life. So that's part of what I set out to achieve, is to overcome this I'm too busy. And on another side note, check out the book Essentialism, because it teaches you how to achieve more with less, which is totally helpful if I'm too busy is your catchphrase. Now let's get into why does having this I'm too busy as a default thought process, or as a regular thought process, why doesn't it work? So first of all, it actually stops you from getting things done because it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because what happens from a brain perspective is once you think I'm too busy, your brain actually shuts down, or it finds reasons and justifications to not do the thing. And this is fine if the thing is not that important to you, but if it is important to you, then you're missing out on adding some really great stuff into your life because you're too busy. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about where this comes from, the brain science. So the human brain is hardwired for survival. So if you think back thousands of years ago, we used to live in times of feast or famine. So our brain didn't know when our next meal was coming. And our brain actually requires a lot of energy to operate. In fact, it requires 25% of our total intake of energy goes just to our brain. So, for example, if you had 4 pieces of toast for breakfast, one of those pieces of toast would go purely to give your brain enough energy to operate. So if you match that with the fact that our brain is hardwired for survival, what it does is it always looks for ways to conserve energy, to hang on to energy for times when we might really need it. So it looks for the easiest path or any way to conserve energy. So the best way to remember this is, if you've ever seen any of my videos before, you'll have heard me say the brain is lazy. And that's because it always takes the path of least resistance. It goes to autopilot whenever it can because it's trying to conserve energy. So that's why the I'm too busy as a thought process actually causes your brain to shut down and go, okay, don't need to do that. And as I mentioned, if that thing is something that's not that important to you, that's fine. But if you're trying to add good things into your life or things that are really important, then you can actually be missing out because your brain is working against you. Now, the other reason why the I'm too busy default doesn't work is because it basically causes you to feel mild stress all the time. And this is not healthy or sustainable from a physical or a mental health perspective. And in fact, I'm sure you've all probably heard there has been a significant increase in burnout and stress-related illnesses in recent years. Hence, what I mentioned before, part of my mission is to change this whole I'm too busy as a status symbol, because I would love it if the measure of success is how much you don't have to fit into your day. And the third reason that saying I'm too busy all the time, the reason it doesn't work is because it means you never get a chance to slow down, to smell the roses, truly enjoy life and the beauty that is all around us. And that's a pretty sad state of affairs, I would suggest. So that's a little bit about why the I'm too busy doesn't work from a brain perspective. So if after hearing all of this, you realize that I'm too busy is your normal, and it's stopping you from doing the things that you love, and it's causing you to race through life, never appreciating what you have and the beauty that's all around you, I've got 3 things for you to try. So if you try these 3 things today, it will start to change your I'm too busy mindset. So number 1 is become an observer of your thoughts. Now, this is something that might take practice. It comes a little bit easier to some people more than others. So start to become an observer of your thoughts. Try to identify the times when you notice I'm too busy popping into your head. So that's number 1. Start to become an observer or become more aware of your thoughts, because your thoughts come from your subconscious brain. So the goal here is to try and bring them into your conscious brain so that we're aware of them, because if we're aware of our thoughts, that's when we can change them. So once you've become aware of this I'm too busy popping up, stop for a moment and note down, this is number 2. So stop and note down what triggered this thought. So was it a request from a friend to catch up? Maybe you're feeling a bit guilty, you haven't seen them for a while, and they say, hey, let's do coffee. Uh-oh, I'm too busy. It could be your boss giving you another task on your already overflowing to-do list. It could be a demand or a request from your children or from your spouse, or it could even be just an idea that's popped into your head about something that you'd like to do or that you think you need to do. So it could be, oh, I think perhaps I should start meditating because I'm a bit stressed. And then, boop, all of a sudden your brain throws up this I'm too busy. So when you notice it, stop and note down what triggered the thought to enter your head. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to slow down the whole process, because our thoughts actually drive our behaviour. I won't go into too many details about how that works, but essentially if we can slow down the process, we can change the outcome. So number 3 thing to do is, once you've worked out I'm too busy has popped up, you've stopped and you've noted down what triggered that thought, then you have to establish how important is it to you to do this thing. So let's say it is the coffee catch-up with the friend. And I would suggest ranking this on a 1 to 10 scale. So how important is it? If it's a 6 or below, I would say no, delegate the task, find a way to not do it, because it's not really high enough on your priority list to try and figure out a way to fit it in. But if it's a 7 or higher on a scale of 1 to 10, then have a think about, what could I stop doing, or what could I not do this week or today or whatever the time frame is, in order to fit it in. And now here's the key, because it's changing our thoughts. So instead of thinking I'm too busy, replace the thought with, how can I fit this into my day, my week, routine, whatever it is, as I said, whatever time frame. Because the reason I'm saying put this into a question format is because another really, really cool feature of the human brain is that it has an inbuilt ability to answer questions. In fact, it can't not answer questions. So, for example, if I say to you, what is your name? What's your favourite colour? Your brain cannot help but answer these questions. So let's flip that around and say, all right, I'm going to say to you, whatever you do, don't answer these questions. Okay, so try really, really hard to not answer the questions. What is 2 plus 2? What is your favourite thing to do on the weekend? Bam! I bet you that your brain threw up an answer to those questions. So the reason I do that little activity is to demonstrate how it is this innate ability that your brain just does it. There's a whole section of the brain that it comes from, but I'm just giving you the general stuff right now. So basically, if you turn the I'm too busy into a question, how can I fit this into my day, into my week, into my routine? What that means is your brain is going to start searching for answers to this question because it's hardwired to answer questions. Now, you might not find the answer immediately, but what will happen is your subconscious brain will continue to, well, it's actually your RAS searching through your subconscious brain to get the answer. And you might have had this experience before. So have you ever been at a quiz night or somebody's asked you something and you can't, the answer's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't for the life of you think of it. And then what happens at 2 a.m.? Ding! You're awake and there's the answer to the question. So that's an example of your brain continuing to work on that question in the background. So that's why changing I'm too busy into how can I fit this into my routine. Sorry, I don't know if that's really loud, but that's my dog going crazy in the background. Apologies if that's overpowering me. Okay, so I got distracted. So I'm too busy, turn it into a question. How can I fit this in? So basically what you're doing is you're using the power of questions to help you be less busy by letting things go and incorporating more of the things that are really important to you into your life. And if you do these three things, your life will be so much better, I promise. So that's pretty much it for me today. I'm just going to recap those three things just because I went through them and got distracted, as I often do. So the three things you can start to do today is, first of all, become an observer of your thoughts. Secondly, when you notice the thought, stop and note down what triggered it and work out what that thing is that you're trying to decide how to fit into your life. Work out how important it is for you to do this thing on a scale of 1 to 10. And if it's 7 or higher, what could you stop doing? What could you not do in order to fit it in? And then replace the thought of I'm too busy with how can I fit this into my week? So that's pretty much it for the I'm too busy productivity killer. I hope you jump on the bandwagon with me in terms of my mission to transform this I'm too busy status symbol in today's society to I can do whatever I want today. So yeah, thanks for watching, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. Don't forget to download your free guide, Feel Fantastic in 3 Simple Steps. And check out my group. Oh, my dog is doing my head in. And check out my group, Highly Sensitive Extroverts. Both of the links are in the post attached to this video. And look, this is super helpful. I can do this already today. I took a bunch of notes. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad that this has been helpful. I hope it's helpful to some of your other group members as well. Thanks again, Una, for having me in your group. Chat soon. Have a great weekend, everybody. It's Friday, 5:15 here in Western Australia, but I think it's only Friday morning for you guys. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have a great weekend. Ciao for now.